Hey everyone, welcome to Double Game Week 33 preview video. In this game week, we have some really big decisions to be making, but in the spirit of the Double Game Week, please hit that like and subscribe button. We only got a couple game weeks left, so let's try to get that subscriber count as high as possible so we're leading well into next year. Okay, but as you heard, this is going to be our first double game week of the season. We have this Udinese-Salernitana match, which both those teams already are seen playing in the fixtures earlier in the week. So all of the players from those two teams will get 2 games worth of points potentially. Obviously, they might not start both, they might not play both or either. But you at least got 2 shots there, and the total points will be added up for the 2. So some fantasy games that you might play might say you take the better of the 2 scores. In Serie fantasy, they total them up just like the Fantasy Premier League. All right. But yeah, if you've been watching the videos, maybe you've added some like Molina, Silvestri, Beto, Delafeu, and they've actually been playing really well recently as well. And don't be fooled, some of the labeling's kind of weird. Like for Molina, it shows only the Empoli game, or for Silvestri, it shows that there's 3. Each of them only has 2, so don't get confused by that. But yeah, so we'll see some of the decisions have to be made this week. So with this being the only double game week, not a huge double game week, not huge teams, maybe you've stocked up on some Udinese players. If you have your shuffle still, maybe you're bringing in some Udinese players. Remember, Udinese and Salernitana both double next game week as well. So even if this double doesn't go so great, next weekend will. Or next weekend might as well. And hopefully you've got some players that are also lined up for next game week, which is also a much bigger double game week. So I know I've said in the past, use your double captainship during a double game week. If you can, unless you're really confident in Udinese this game week, because Udinese does have 2 really good fixtures against Salernitana and Empoli, so not horrible choices, but I would probably wait till next game week where you can captain the likes of Lautaro Martinez, Dzeko, and guys like that are likely to score more goals. But anyway, where my big decision making is coming is notice how like literally all my players have a good fixture this week, and except for Oliveira, really. I also need to use a transfer because I don't plan on bringing in a 3rd Udinese player or a Salernitana player. Then I have to get rid of them all, and I don't want to spend points to do it. So I think I'm going to stick with just Silvestri and Molina as my double game week players. But I want to start bringing in people for next double game week in 34, because I'll be able to transfer someone out now and then someone out after this game week as well. And I have a feeling who those 2 players are going to end up being. But it's just hard to pick who I'm going to be transferring out. As the team stands right now, I'm definitely starting my 2 Udinese players, Molina and Silvestri. The only thing I don't know about them is if I'm going to captain one of them, because I don't know if Molina will definitely be starting both games. He's been starting every game lately. He might get a rest during one of them. He has performed well when he is on, getting some attacking returns, clean sheets here and there. And I want to say it would be fun and it would be a good punt, for instance, rather than like there's some other obvious captain choices. You could do Vlahovic against Bologna, Dzeko against Spezia, Candreva against Salernitana. Like the possibilities are endless as far as captaincy for my team this week. And it's just hard saying who's going to sit. I think Oliveira is an obvious sit in this one, but right now I have Leao and Çalhanoğlu sitting, and those are players that should definitely be playing this week. I might try to take them over my Lazio players who have been underperforming. Patrick with the own goal last week, and then Milinkovic-Savic kind of been hit or miss. So yeah, I could see myself probably actually taking out Patrick here and going with forward defense. So maybe I'll do that. Just again, who am I putting this in place for? We got Milan facing Genoa, or Inter facing oh my gosh, Spezia, that's what it is. So both, I think I need to go with the attacker here. So let's make this switch right now and do Patrick in for Leao and put Çalhanoğlu in the first bench spot, just because he hasn't been doing great. Okay, so this is what we're lining up with right now. Silvestri in net, Calabria, Bastoni, Theo Hernandez, and Molina across the back, all with very good fixtures. Silvestri and Molina with double game weeks. We have Candreva, Quadrado, and Milinkovic-Savic. Quadrado coming off an assist. Candreva against Salernitana. I'd like to think that he can do something, and it's hard to sit Milinkovic-Savic even if he's been underperforming. And then our front three, Vlahovic, Leao, Dzeko. Okay, so that kind of makes sense. But then there's going to be another player coming in. So let's go to the transfers and see what's happening there. What I'm thinking right now, sorry, I was just searching Molina because I was looking at his stuff. I'm thinking that it's going to be a Fiorentina player. Notice how I already have 3 Inter players, and we're looking forward to the following week. This is what I'm preparing for, these double game weeks right here. All 6 of these teams are going to have 2 games this game week. Again, I'm not really going to be concerned about Salernitana. I already have 2 Udinese players. I already have 3 Inter players. So as of right now, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players I already have are going to have double game week. And I'm probably going to be looking to bring in 2 Fiorentina players to make 7 double game week players. And if we go back down to the calendar, we see that Fiorentina plays Udinese and they play Salernitana that week. Very good double game week for them. Both Salernitana and Udinese are also going to be going through a lot of rotation, having played 2 games the game week before that as well. So a lot of good opportunity here to get some points with Fiorentina players. As well, they play Venezia this week. So even when I bring them in, that's another player that probably should be starting this week. The 2 players for Fiorentina I'm thinking of bringing in are Biraghi and Gonzalez. Both are the top 2 fantasy scorers for Fiorentina as well, and they've just been the 2 that are performing. Obviously, beforehand, the obvious Fiorentina player was Vlahovic before he got transferred to Juve. But now these are the 2 fantasy go-tos, it seems. You could try to roll the dice on one of their strikers if you wanted to, because they've been doing well. If Piatek and Cabral haven't been too bad, but who knows, one might start one game, one might start the other, kind of loses the point of the double game week. Pretty sure Biraghi is going to be a consistent starter, and Gonzalez as well starts most games. So if I go over to the fixtures, now I got to figure out which player I'm dropping. Probably makes sense to do one of the ones I'm planning on having on the bench. I know for sure that Oliveira won't be playing this week. And so then he's got Napoli, Inter Milan, faces Bologna, and then Fiorentina. So Oliveira, he hasn't really been doing much, and he seemed like this really great player to bring in, but hasn't been there. I think it might make sense to bring in Gonzalez this week and just get rid of Oliveira because I don't see him playing much in the future anyway. If I get rid of someone like Patrick, so if I'm sitting him this week against Genoa, after that's Torino, then Milan, and there are still some fixtures that are good for Lazio coming up. But I definitely wouldn't be playing him during the double game week anyway. So I could really get rid of either of those, but I just see Patrick as more of a long-term hold. So if I get rid of Oliveira now, then I can go and I might still get rid of Patrick next week. Sorry. But at least to have the option in case someone else gets injured and I need to rotate someone else. So I do think, and I might just make it official now, so you know I'm not trying to trick anyone. I think I'm going to go, Oliveira to Gonzalez. And I still have a mil in the bank, which is good. And let's confirm that. All right. So we can go back to the team. And now it's just a matter of if I'm going to start him or not. Against Venezia, first week in, I don't really know if I want to risk playing him over anyone else right now. I think I might sit him, and I think I've made my decision to go with Captain Molina here. And we're just going to have some fun with this week because it's double game week. Let's have fun with things. So this is how I think I'm going to end up lining this up. Maybe Çalhanoğlu over Gonzalez. Okay, I'm going to say that's going to be final. Obviously, things might change beforehand. As far as the top 5 this week, and I think what most people are doing is a pretty good summary of that. If you don't have a Molina, Deulofeu, Beto, or Silvestri, I'd say 2 of them are good. You probably don't want 3 because then you got to ship them all out afterwards as well. But I'd say Molina, Deulofeu, Beto. Those are 3 Udinese players that I'd be bringing in this week probably if I didn't have them. If you do have the amount of Udinese players that you want, I'd say the other 2, Gonzalez and Barahi. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't believe that myself. So just something to think of a lot of times. You think the top 5 players that I'm thinking of, oh yeah, they're just my players. Well, I wouldn't be bringing them in if I didn't think they were the best players to bring in that week. So just something to keep in mind. Okay, so again, top 5, Molina, Deulofeu, Beto, Gonzalez, Barahi. And that is where I'm going to leave off this video. Get excited for the double game week. It's going to be fun. And I'll talk to you next time. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care.